Hey, what's up, everyone? I'm going to point out some of the blunders in the news community that they're putting out. I'm going to point out some things that they're not telling. First, regarding this COVID-19 surge, these variants that are surging, they tell us not to go places if you have not gotten the shot, not to do certain things. They say you're not allowed here, you're not allowed there, you better do this, which is apparently still not effective on the variants. And there's a percentage of people going to the hospital who have this virus and even apparently dying, they say, who have taken the shot. So now they're taking into consideration saying, well, it's because the older shots that you've taken are not effective for the variants. Well, now they've opened the borders. We have millions of migrants coming into the United States, and some of which I know for a fact, according to local news and nationwide news, were dropped by the busloads in the mountains in Tennessee and various other areas of the state of Tennessee, Georgia, Missouri, Mississippi, California. They were dropped off in various areas. Not as many in California, from what I heard. They only had a few, but they also dropped them off in Florida. But they picked particularly more to put in southern states, and the states where they dropped off many of these immigrants or migrants are where you see the cases surging, and many of the migrants were unvaccinated. Well, they weren't required to get it. And many people were saying they didn't ask for a voter ID, but they're asking for a COVID passport to get into a place. That makes no sense. Now, another breaking news that took place was supporters in Alabama, the Alabama rally, booed Mr. T after he told them to get vaccinated. Here's how I would have gone about this. I would have probably done a speech, and I would have stated that, look, we need to take care of the border crisis, which even some of our news anchors have admitted. They've admitted themselves that there is a crisis at the border. You have migrants coming over here who have not been tested, who are spreading this virus and its variants, and they're dropping them off in various states, and in those states where they drop them off, it's surging. So we need to take care of that crisis, then look at the situation, and then if you feel you need to be, you can get the shot, whatever. That's what he should have said if that's what he feels now. If that's what he feels, it's supposed to be choice. Apparently your body, your choice is fine when it comes to certain aspects, but not others when it comes to their leadership. But I mean, we need to take care of this migrant crisis of people being bussed into the United States, and especially in southern states they put them in, and then the very states in which they were bussed to, the cases rise. And yet they tell everyone else they have to show documentation and proof that they've had the shot or been fully vaxxed, but yet certain people here in the United States, by the millions, don't even have to have documentation or proof of citizenship. Those two things don't add up. And then they say they tried to blame the Caucasian, or tried to blame the people like that, or poor people. Now they're flat out blaming evangelicals. They're saying believers in Christ are the problem, and that should be a red flag to many people right there. Blaming a particular group of people, ostracizing them. They're not saying anything about the African American population. They're not saying anything about that at all, where it was stated that the majority of the black community does not want to be, or I'll just say does not want to take the jab because they don't trust the government as it is. So if you've got a majority population of them that does not trust the government or their leadership, and they don't want to take the shot because they don't trust its side effects, then how can it be just the Caucasians' fault? Just the white people's fault? That doesn't add up either. And I'm not blaming anyone or any side of anything. I'm saying the way they're going about their leadership, the way they're going about their rules and regulations, and there's a difference between rules and regulations and mandates. And the fact that everyone is supposed to have this thing, they're supposed to do it, it's the right thing to do, and yet, meanwhile, they bring busloads of people over here who have not been. They just have to say, yeah, we'll get it eventually, and they'll say, okay. Have not been given the shot. And then they put it to children who, for who knows how many years, they have to live with something that they're not even aware of the side effects of yet. And now children are being hospitalized, they say, by the droves. And they have no idea. They claim it's the variant. And they claim it's because children can't get the shot. I don't know. I mean, to me, the way this should have been gone about, take care of the migrant crisis, take care of the situation at the border, and if you're going to require the shot for people, as they seem to be doing everywhere, what are we going to do? I don't know. But if they seem to be doing that everywhere, if they're going to do that, then they don't need to be having millions in busloads of people coming over here who have not been tested and have not been given the shot, spreading it to the rest of the nation. That's what I see happening. We need to take care of that situation. And, I mean, don't even get me started with the way they're going about things in the Middle East and worldwide. You remember when Mr. T made a statement and he said, they're not after me, they're after you. I'm just in their way. And he said he was putting off and stopping the NWO. Pretty much he was actually, basically what he was doing was standing in the way of the NWO. But I'm not getting into all that. They call those CTs. Oh, you're a CT if you feel that way. But they need to take care of this border and immigration crisis. You don't have, I mean, when you've got something serious going on, you don't bus millions of people into the States and then see the cases surging in those states and say that had nothing to do with it. You just don't. And it's just, secondly, you don't leave a place and leave your weapons, leave your military equipment and everything behind for the enemies to take unless it's planned. Alright, anyway, that's all my commentary right now. I know that's not what this channel is about, that I'm posting this on originally, but it annoys me how I see things going down, the way I see things happening, and the way they're going about these things is just not cool. It's just not logical. Anyway, that's all. Peace. Signing out.